All right, friends, what is up? It's Jake, your wizard of marketing, here to help you grow your business, your side hustle with great tips, tricks, and advice. Let's get it on. Let's go. What is happening out in the world? Well, there is news. There is news of what's going on. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. So, news of the day. Google is doing their first algorithmic update for 2026 to the SEO platform. Something that you should be aware of. It could be causing volatility and ranking issues, but this one's a little unique because, and I'm pulling it up here, it is all about Discover. So I don't know if any of you use the Google News feed, the Discover News feed, but this is a very interesting Google algorithmic update because this is not something they're typically updating. They're not typically pushing patches to this service. But again, if you're familiar with Discover or the Google Discover feed, it's a news feed. It is very, very interesting when you put out a piece of content, specifically more of a blog. You have the opportunity to be in the Discover feed. Okay. The Discover feed can change your life. It is a huge amount of traffic very quickly. Well, anyways, they're updating it. Axel, hey, big bro, loving the Demon Slayer sweater. Hey, got a rep. Thanks so much for that. But yeah, so the Google algorithmic update, here's the takeaways of what they're doing to adjust the Discover experience. You need to know this because if you can make content that follows these guidelines, maybe you get in the Discover feed and you could have a day where you spike, I don't know, 3 million views to your website. Sounds like a nice little trade-off. So this update will improve the experience in a few key ways. I'm reading this straight from their report on what this algorithmic update is actually about. Showing users more locally relevant content from websites based in their country. Ooh, interesting. Local websites are getting a bump in Discover locally? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Reducing sensational content and clickbait in Discover. I like that a lot. If you use the Discover feed, I actually use the Discover feed. 1 out of 4 or 5 pieces of content are quite clickbaity. So it's really good to know that they are mitigating some of that. And then lastly, showing more in-depth, original, and timely content from websites with expertise in a given area based on our system's understanding of the site's content. This just further confirms that Google wants you to be topical. They want you to be focused on the topicality of your website. That doesn't mean you have to only talk about one thing. It means that you have to build a knowledge base around specific topics on purpose and interlink those and tell Google, hey, here is this topic. Here is the ideas that I know about that I can talk about. And as you do that, it will improve your rankings and then obviously give you a chance at getting in the Google Discover feed, which I think is super important and something everyone should be trying to do. Makes sense, Axel? Yeah, thanks. I think this was a long overdue update actually from Google, so it's good to see that it's happening. Best way to increase SEO in ChatGPT. There are 3 ways. 3 ways. Actually, did I save that post? Did I save that post? Hold on. I actually just saw a post by the content director at Ahrefs. Let me see if I can find it. Because he actually lists out, based off of a research that they just did, what is actually impacting rankings in, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't. I should have like commented on it or something. I'm going to be so mad that I didn't save it. Let's go. AI overviews. I'm sure I've got it here. This is worth waiting for. I'm so sorry. No, that's not it. Ah, here it is. I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. Okay. All right. So, wait, why did it just, I just wanted to see the post. Ah, here it is. So, if you want to rank in AI search, Okay. This is coming from Ryan Law, who is the content marketing director at Ahrefs. Okay. Massive SEO tool if you're not familiar with it. Okay. They did over the last 3 months, they analyzed 1 billion data points across 11 different studies. YouTube mentions are the single strongest predictor of AI visibility with a correlation of 73%. It's stronger than domain rating, backlinks, or any other traditional SEO factor. YouTube is heavily cited on AI responses, both in Google and OpenAI. Maybe you need to make YouTube content. Okay. For a given query, AI mode and AI overviews reach the same conclusion 86% of the time, but cite different sources. That's interesting, right? Content length has no correlation with ranking. Blogs make up 43% of all pages that are cited in ChatGPT responses. That's an interesting one. Let's see. Domain rating correlates very weakly with AI visibility, and 67% of ChatGPT's top 1,000 citations are off limits to marketers, with Wikipedia holding 30%, followed by homepages owning another 24% of all citations. So if you take nothing else away from that, start putting your content on YouTube. Okay? Start putting your content on YouTube. Hey, Jake, do you need a virtual assistant? I don't at the moment. Is that a Tanjiro hoodie? It is, Derek. It is. How would you market a video podcast with zero budget? If I had zero budget, I'm marketing a video podcast, I'm posting it on YouTube, I'm clipping the crud out of it, and I'm posting a zillion clips on every platform that will let me post clips. That's it. That's the best way to do it. Fascinating. I know, Emma, right? YouTube mentions. Can you expand? I just started YouTube content. So the clarity on that is low, but basically there's lots of different ways you can be shouted out in YouTube. One is in the video in the transcript. That's a pretty basic way. 2 is in the description of the video. 3 is in the comments of the video. Those would be the 3 types of mentions I would think. And I would think they would be in that priority. Transcript, then description, then comments. So there you go. Again, the post doesn't go into detail of what YouTube mentions means. What they're pulling and how they got this data was that they researched AI results and pulled all of the sources, right? They took all those links and they categorized them. So when they're saying YouTube mentions, they're meaning that the link goes to YouTube. It doesn't tell them why. It's just saying that it does. Attorney Stephen Thomas with the follow. Thank you so much. You're a wizard. Whose post is this? I will say his name again. It's on LinkedIn. His name is Ryan, L-A-W, Ryan Law. He is the director of content marketing at Ahrefs, the SEO tool. SimilarWeb has Crackit. Okay, cool. Do you schedule content on social media? If not, why? I don't schedule content on media. Okay, here is my workflow. And this is not a great workflow. I'm going to just tell you right out of the gate. This is what I do. This is not what I would like to be doing. Does that make sense? Because of time constraints and what I can do by myself, I post my short form content natively in TikTok. I typically shoot it and then immediately post. Sometimes I'm clipping from something. Sometimes I pull a video that I've done in the past. But generally speaking, I shoot, I edit, I post in TikTok. Then I use a tool called repurpose.io. I link it to my TikTok. When I post a TikTok, it grabs that and it posts it to my LinkedIn. It posts it to my Instagram. It posts it to my Facebook page. It posts it to YouTube Shorts. It actually tries to post it to Pinterest, although Pinterest is broken right now and I don't know why. I got to figure that one out. So it's automatically doing that. What is the end result of that? My other platforms don't do as well. And I just had this conversation with a couple other social media people, and they're like, you got to post natively. It's the only way to grow on those platforms. And I know that, I just don't have time. But I don't typically schedule content out, if that makes sense. I'm sorry, I posted the question twice, didn't mean to. No worries. No worries, Steven. You're all good. And you're welcome. What's the best way to go about finding long-term influencers like Cluely has? One, it really helps to have some sort of office headquarters, right? You can bring them in twice a month, whatever. The other thing is find people who are using your product. There are influencers, micro influencers, who are probably using your product. Get them on board because they're already excited about it. Anga, with the follow, thank you so much. You're a wizard. How much you charge depends on the service. SEO services start around 3K and ad services start around 2K, but you need to have at least a 5K ads budget to really make an impact. We do have a program called First Flight that is built to scale up to that if you're not ready for it. So we can work with a lower budget, and it's built priced for that. But like our full regular program, that's where it's at. George with the follow, thank you so much. You're a wizard. Good afternoon, Marketing Legend. Oh, hello, River Muchacho. What's that multi-use post app again? It's like RSS on steroids. It's called Repurpose.io. Repurpose.io. And to be honest, it's kind of meh. Like, it's not a great app, but there isn't a great alternative either. For a while, I will say this, for a while, I was taking, because Repurpose can take the audio and drop it in a Google Drive. I was taking the audio, dropping it in a Google Drive, transcribing it, and then auto-generating like a V1 of LinkedIn posts with that. I stopped doing it because it's still not good at writing social posts. Like, AI sucks at writing social posts. It's unbelievable. That's all I was going to ask. Post individually or automatically? Again, I have chosen actively to not grow the most I can grow on other platforms because I'm not natively posting there. I just don't have time. Who's my favorite marketer? Good question, David. It has got to be Rory Sutherland is my favorite marketer. And the reason why Rory Sutherland is my favorite marketer is because he does not start with channels. He does not start with what you do. He starts with the psychology. He really thinks through a product, an audience, an offer, a connection point. He talks about something called the delight of a product. And I think that's something brilliant. So yes, Rory Sutherland is my favorite marketer. Honorable mentions, I wouldn't be here without Gary Vee. So kudos to Gary. Alex Hormozy is a monster. I will never be Alex Hormozy. I don't want to be Alex Hormozy, but that man has lived multiple lives worth of effort in his businesses. Other marketers, I have a couple older posts of people that I follow on this platform, some of my favorite people. But yeah, those are a couple of the ones that are like the top people. Gabriela Hernandez with the follow, thank you so much. You're a wizard. Hey, Jake. What's your opinion on creators starting series? Are they good for growth? Do it. You got to test everything. If you go through my channel, if you scroll through my videos, you will see experimental videos. They happen. I did one the other day called Floor the Record, where I laid on the floor and I had my record player on the floor with me and it was playing a record. And it was like shower thoughts, right? Like, this is what I think. Floor the Record. It did terrible. It was awful. I'm going to post another one because I shot like 2 or 3 of them, but you got to test things. And if a series works for you, a series works for you. Do you work with nonprofits? I can. Historically, I'm not great at nonprofit marketing. Historically, I've worked with 2 nonprofits before and I did not do a great job with it. It's a very, very hard market. If you're going to work with a non-for-profit, I recommend working with a local agency. It's going to be a lot better experience. Jake's got the best hair in the business. Oh, thank you. It's only half true. It's only half true. If you're a marketing wizard, why do you have 100,000 followers and average 20 likes per post? I did not give myself the name Marketing Wizard post panic. That was a nickname that clients gave me, and I just kept it. Also, niche content, and that's okay. If you get all wrapped up in, oh my gosh, how many views do I have? How many followers did I get? Oh no. If you get all wrapped up in that, you'll never make content and you'll never be able to scale and grow. I actually just saw a really interesting video yesterday of Asmongold. Well, I don't think what you want about him. He broke down the burnt peanut. If you're not familiar with the burnt peanut, he's pretty much the hottest thing in video game streamers in a while. And he went over, like, people accused the burnt peanut of using view bots. And he talks about how, like, there's no way this guy view botted. He started a year ago with 9 viewers and he scaled his channel up, and you can see where the tipping point is, where it just like skyrockets for him in October. And if he got disheartened or sad about only having 10 viewers back when he started, he never would have made it. You've got to push through it. Andy B. rocking the Earthworks Icon Pro. He's the icon for real. Everything about this fit screams 2005. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Scheduling posts on LinkedIn equals lower reach and engagement compared to live posting. Pretty much true on every platform. Like, I don't schedule anything. Is AI going to replace entry-level marketers? And if so, where should one concentrate their efforts? I don't think so. I think the way that I approach AI is, if AI can do your job, you deserve to not have the job. Because AI is not great. There's a lot of things that AI is terrible at that I would not want AI to do for us. But if AI can do your job as good as you kind of deserve to lose your job. I don't know. That might not be true in like data or coding, but it's a tool. AI is a tool that makes you better. So if the tool is better than the person, why do I need the person? I don't think it's going to replace all the entry-level jobs, though. How do I know what terrible looks like, and how do I know when to stop or move on? If you are getting into social content, which I highly encourage it. Don't worry about what terrible looks like. Don't worry about it. Just produce. When you start making content, your first 90 days at a minimum, the only thing you should worry about is, did I post today? Did I post 2 times today? That is the only thing, the only standard, the only metric you should be holding yourself to for your first 90, arguably 180 days, 6 months. Don't look at the results. Just get used to posting. What will happen by doing that is you will then see, by looking back at the end of the 90 or the 180 days, the top 10 posts. You will see what the audience wants from you. Then you can take that information and use it going forward now that you have a content development rhythm down. Because the content development rhythm and the hard skin is the 2 parts that hold most people back. Almost everybody, I say almost everybody has something that they're passionate about and that they're interested in and that they could talk about at length. You have to get past the criticisms. You have to get past the low view counts. You have to get past everything, because if you're not making the content, it doesn't matter. Make that your objective. And then you can start to do the optimization steps down the line. Miko with the follow. Thank you so much, you're a wizard. Jordan Cole, what's poppin'? Sent your email to CMO. Hopefully he reaches out. I'm looking forward to it, Jordan. Maybe DM me his name or whatever so I can keep an eye out for it. Real question. How do I market myself on dating apps? That's what I'm down to for real. Okay. I am blessed. or cursed, depending on how you look at it. I married my high school sweetheart. I got married at 20. Okay, so I never went through the dating app phase. It was never something I did. That being said, you're the product. Look at your profile. Would you buy that product? Is that product interesting? Does it have good features? Okay, how's the customer service on it? Think of it like a product. Make sure that you package it in a way that makes people want to consume it. Start there. Russell Brunson and Ryan Dice get low views too. Marketing is the hardest niche for content. It is, because there's not as many people to consume it, just in general. I mean, if you look on TikTok, I'm about to break 110,000 followers. I am in the top probably 25 English-based marketers as far as follower base on TikTok. So it's not just a raw numbers game. Have you worked on marketing indie horror films? That sounds like a blast, and I would love to do that, but I have not done that in the past. I would love to work on advertising film or TV or episodic something. I would also love to work on advertising video games. My hobby is I design board games. I'm also a gamer. I play stuff all the time. I would love to break into that industry. And I have a cousin who works in the industry, and I reached out to him and he was like, you can't get into this industry unless you have experience in the industry. I'm like, what does it even mean? What does it even mean? How do you do that? Well, you can't market video games unless you've marketed video games. Well, how did the first guy do it? Okay. Someone had to light the fire. Jeez, cousins, am I right? Jake, have you ever been into debt because your SEO business hit a wall and you ran out of money? How did you bounce back? Oh, dude, Zim. Okay. Let's open the vaults here, okay? Let's share. Yes. There was a period of time where I moved from Chicago to Phoenix, and I had a lot of local clients in Chicago. And they all said they were going to stay with me. And I moved across the country, and over the next 4 months, I lost 50 to 60% of my clients. And I had staff members at this time. And it got to a point where I had to choose, am I going to pay the rent, pay the mortgage on my house, or feed my family, or pay my employees? It was bad. And the thing is that because I was new in the area, I didn't have a pipeline. I didn't have like a ton of sales on the horizon. This is before I figured out how to sell. And I got desperate. I was like, I'll take night jobs. I'll drive Uber while I'm running my business, like whatever we need to do to survive. And the bounce back, I was ready to quit. I was ready to wrap up Wizard and walk away and go take a regular job being a regular goon at a business. And my wife, my lovely wife, was like, hey, I see you. I'm going to come in. I'm going to work on some of this stuff in the business for you. I'm going to do the finance. I'm going to send some emails for you. She basically came in and was like, I'll be your executive assistant. You focus on getting us more clients. And that is when I started going really hard on TikTok, because I had gotten some good clients through TikTok, and it was like, okay, it's do or die. Like we have exactly 2 months that we can survive before we lose our house and everything. And I got on TikTok like a madman. I was doing deals. I was offering stuff. And because I doubled, tripled down on being live, being on TikTok, I went from not being able to pay my bills and barely having enough for food, let alone anything else. And I never stopped paying my employees. I think that's really important here. So I could have fired my employees. I could have let them go. I could have taken that money back into me. and like restarted from zero. I didn't want to do that because I knew that that wasn't the right call. And in 1 year, I went from holy crap, what do we do, to being a 7-figure business because I focused in on where my audience was. I focused in on how do I reach more people? How do I engage more businesses? And that's how I bounced back. And that was a long story there, Zim, but I don't share that one that often because it's the darkest of periods. But there it is. So hope that gives some background and insight. What's the best ROAS you've seen and what industry? The best ROAS I've ever seen was one of my clients, the candle company. We did an advertisement that had 126 ROAS for like 10 months. Absolutely bananas. Made them millions of dollars selling candles. As soon as people figure out how to articulate their intended results, it's game over. So true. LinkedIn makes me feel like a conspiracy theorist when content flops on there. LinkedIn's algorithm is so wonky. I don't understand it. The proper AI with the proper machinery can make anything. It's pretty much true. Do you work with businesses that provide services or exclusively merchant items? We work with all different kinds of businesses. We have e-commerce businesses. We have local businesses. We have consulting businesses. We have SaaS businesses. We have hotels. We have event companies. Like, we're all over the place. Love you, Jake. You're the man. Thank you so much, Beach. Queen Picky with the follow. Thank you so much. You're a wizard. That's a blatant lie. He's trying to keep it all to himself. Oh, man. Rocky in China with a follow. Thank you so much. Ash, what's up? What's up? Z Picky GM with a follow. Thank you. You're a wizard. What worked for you to get clients? Mail, door to door, all TikTok? It's gone through phases. Like, when I started, the door to door was really good. And I still think, like, if you're focused locally, that works really well. But TikTok was the thing for me. I'd already built a little bit of a base. How long does it take to do your hair? Not that long, actually. Obviously, shower, step out, blow dry. And then I literally like bend at the waist and point my head at the ground and just hairspray. Give that a 10, 20 seconds and then stand up and it's pretty close. So there you go. Genuine marketing question, looking for advice. Drop it in, Bibbo. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Look, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Things are hard. Someone told me, are you even hungry enough? It really sets a different kind of pressure. Literally, though, that's what it was. It was like, am I hungry enough? Like, do I want to pay for food? And what was really cool, what changed after we recovered, was that I now have a level of confidence and a level of clarity that if anything were to go wrong in the future, I know I can bounce back. Like, it's not a fear. I know I can pull it back. So like, that is a level of security and comfort that can never be taken away from me, which I think is beautiful. Any advice for a marketing student in their last semester? Yeah, build a website. Build a website, have fun with it. Maybe do like a little print on demand website or something like that. Start practicing marketing it. Get a little experience in your belt. It will go in your portfolio. It's really, really good. Do you outsource your video or do you do it in-house? Currently in-house. Eventually, I'm going to be hiring a full-time editor and social manager. That's my goal. Where can I book a discovery call? Head over to finch.com. That's my agency, Finch, FINCH.com. Hop on the calendar. We can chat. Assuming you have a food manufacturing that produces energy bars, how would you position yourself? Look at the energy bar market right now. The big things that sell are, is it clean, right? Is it clean? Protein is big right now. Packaging, how do you stand out in the packaging? I have to see your bar to try and like figure it out. There's this great concept by a marketer named Marty Marion called depositioning. Depositioning is the act of making yourself seem more valuable by advertising the things that your clients or that your competitors don't have. So an easy way to think of this would be like, let's say that you have like a lemon pie bar. Okay. You could go in and say, shouldn't your energy bars taste like dessert? And you're the only one that they can say yes to, something like that. How important is RAG? Yeah, medium important. I'd put it on the lower end of medium though. What's your opinion on SDR cold emailing? It works. It's just not as good as it used to be. It's much slower. Looking into career change, how do I get into the marketing industry? How do you get in the marketing industry? Pick a topic in marketing that you really like, learn everything you can about it, offer to do that for the business you're at now, like internally, just on the side, get the experience, and then change your resume and start shopping around for that as a full-time position. That'd be my recommendation. What type of marketing worked best for e-commerce websites selling one single Bluetooth device? A single device marketing, always hard. What's your price point, Slick? Because that's going to tell you a lot. Tell me, like, what's your average order value? Should you market to people in the market or people that don't know they're in the market yet? Why not both? Separate campaigns. People cannot buy what they don't know about. So if you don't market to people who don't know about it, you won't ever get them. That was a lot of don'ts and won'ts, but basically, I can't buy what I don't know about. Midjourney Aesthetic Lab with the follow. Thank you so much. You're a wizard. If I own a catering business, which resources can I tap into to learn Facebook marketing? YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. There's a lot of great people sharing all their knowledge on those platforms. More than enough for you to be able to figure out Facebook marketing. Should you, I answered that one. How to market an interior design firm, commercial projects. Okay, that's a bit of a harder one. It's a bit more niche. The answer is there's a combination of things you have to do. So one is I would immediately get on Pinterest. You need to start posting all your stuff to Pinterest. Then you need to start building your expertise on LinkedIn. Okay, those two platforms. Then once you have those rolling, start doing Facebook advertising and maybe some DSP. Do you think making a website for a digital marketing agency is worth it? Yeah, 100%. If you don't have a website, you're losing. You will not win. You have to have a website. Brandy Nicole with the following as much. You're a wizard. Should you market to people in the market? I answered that one. I got you, Crisp. Hairdo on point? Yeah, it's kind of balling out today, isn't it? Do you personally use Go High Level? Is there a better tool out there? I've used Go High Level. We don't right now at my current agency. I think Go High Level is a great tool. If you don't have a CRM, it's got a lot of tools in it. It's a good price point. I'd definitely take a look at it. What is this? Thank you, Chocolatieri with the League crest. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. My mom's starting a flower shop. What do you recommend? Maybe a local mailer with a discount code. Everyone buys flowers at least once from a flower shop. Get active in the community. Post on TikTok and tag locally. I started a comedy speed dating show. That's fun. Minimal meta ad knowledge. Events are selling out. Any tips? Oh, wow. Okay. So, first of all, awesome. Second of all, love event companies. However, I am not the expert on my team at events. My recommendation is you're already doing the meta ads. Okay. Meta ads are really good for events. I would also use Eventbrite marketing. Eventbrite's another really, really good platform. And then what I would do is I would have a website where I can capture people who are visiting it, grab them with a DSP pixel, and start figuring out what audience wants to come to this. That's where I would go. I'm getting email signups too, so thinking of making that into a live events newsletter. Also, don't be afraid of live streaming the event. People would eat that up. $250 for the Bluetooth device. Okay, so you're out of the bad range. If you're selling a single Bluetooth device for $250, I would say just start with meta ads, see where that takes you. Maybe TikTok ads. There's a little bit more of a techno alignment on TikTok. Going to be leaving my marketing agency in 6 months. Any companies you recommend for digital marketing? If you need ads and SEO, Finch Agency, we're here. But I mean, there's so many. It's hard to say exactly. How would you market a custom hat, shirt, merch business, door to door, or social media? I'd do organic social, take your top performing ads, run them on Meta and TikTok as sales, and I would get a TikTok shop. TikTok shop makes so much money, it's crazy. Nice with the follow, Crisp with the follow, Rizzo with the follow. Thank you so much for all wizards. Do you have people in-house with experience for local service agencies like insurance agency? Yeah, we've done that before. One of our biggest clients is an insurance company. Need qualified leads. Yeah, it's true. Another product you might want to look at, Travis, is called Neto, Neto. It's used by one of the largest insurance companies, and it's very, very effective. It looks like Daniel with the follow. Thank you so much. You're a wizard. How would you simply define marketing? I would define marketing as the effort to connect human beings with products that will improve their experience. That's a very, light definition, but that's how I would define marketing. One more for the comedy speed dating, having a little trouble getting guys to sign up. Any way to advertise directly to them? You can always advertise to men. Throw a treat in there, okay? Throw a treat in there. Be like, hey, we'll pay for your Tinder Pro or whatever it is for 3 months. Something simple. If people feel like they're going to get something, it's very, very easy to get people to sign up. Private gym, 5 people max, and 121 personal training. Is there more to that? If you want to advertise private gym, here's the play. Any local service-based business, here you go. Website, all of your services and events and things listed out on their own pages. Google Business Profile, make sure you fill that out well. That aligns with all of the pages on your website. $10 a day on Google Ads, $10 a day on Meta Ads. Start there, see what works, scale up what's working. That's my baseline local strategy. Dream Woman, what's a local service-based business can't really do TikTok? Every business can do TikTok. Don't make that excuse. But that being said, use that plan, that 4-piece plan. Works 90% of the time for local business. Thoughts on adding Twitter to the consistently posted to platforms using to build in public? I think Twitter is way more... If you're not a Twitter person, okay, I'm going to throw this out there. If you're not a Twitter person, you don't know. Twitter is extremely active. It is a very alive platform. And there's plenty of juice over there. That being said, you can't half-ass join Twitter. These people are posting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day on Twitter. I'm just an observer. I can't get into that. It's like trying to jump into the jump rope and it's going so fast. You also have to be commenting and reading and I guess I'm maybe too cautious about my comments and my likes and stuff. Maybe that hurts me too. There you go. Does your website host matter? I'm using SiteGround with Squarespace. Your hosting matters in the fact that it decides how well your website can perform. If you have crappy hosting, your website will load bad. It will be slow. That's a problem. That will impact you. I used to use SiteGround and they got hacked like crazy, so I stopped using them. What would you recommend for someone who has zero knowledge of marketing or ads? Hire an agency. Thanks. Glad I can help. If it's a brand new business, should I still start a Google business page? If you're local only, if the majority of your clients are within 40 miles of your business, then yeah. Should I be scared of AI? No. Embrace AI. Embrace it as a tool. Make it make you better. If you can use AI to make yourself stronger, your sky becomes the limit. There is no limit for you. The people who are using AI efficiently, I know some of the top marketers in the game. They're all using AI all day, every day to make themselves better, faster, stronger. But they also use wisdom when AI gives them doo doo on not to use the doo doo. I got a surrogacy agency client. That's so interesting. Lead gen, running Meta and Google Ads, any other platforms we should test. If you're not running programmatic DSP, that would be probably a really, really good one because your target is probably a very specific type of person. DSP allows us to do like people targeting on ultra plus ultra mode. Like we can go very, very specific on who we target with that. Do backlinks matter starting off on Google Ads? Backlinks continue to slip as a primary ranking factor. They're still super important, but it used to be like the gold standard, and now they're like in the top couple. You know what I mean? Recommended niches for beginners starting solo. Ads is always safe. Ads is not going anywhere. Very simple niche in marketing. Another thing that's not going to go anywhere is automation. I would recommend getting into marketing automation if you're looking for something that's just going to stick around for a long time. What app would you recommend for someone starting a business to market it? I don't think I would recommend an app to market a business. There are a few out there, but they don't work. Like Marketing 360, come on. It doesn't work. A lot of people on Reddit say they scroll past ads. How effective are ads ROI? Some of our top performing ads are on Reddit ads. Reddit ads are so good, especially if there is an educational component to getting them to convert. How do I pitch a proposal to revamp a website for a luxury handbag brand without sounding salesy? Okay, so this is a sales tactic you can learn. It's very easy to understand. It's very hard to implement. A lot of salespeople are trying to make the decision for you and then have you agree with them, right? You need to sign up for this. And then the person being sold to is like, do I really? Great salespeople do not do that. Great salespeople understand that the need to purchase a product or to sign up for something has to come from inside their brain. They have to form the thought. So what do you do in order to sell people into creating that thought for themselves? You show them what's wrong. You show them how your business fixes those things. And then you show them what the outcome of those fixes are. If you do that without ever saying, you ready to sign up? I think this would be a great fit. If you do all of that, in their head, they're going to go, oh crap, I need this. I need this. And they're going to go, okay, how much is it? When they ask how much is it, you've got it. Okay? You've got it. You just have to say as little as possible at that point, because every word you put into the mix is going to give them more opportunities to say no. So you just deliver the price without any extra context. It's $1,000 and let them go. In fact, the best thing you can do is after you say the price, shut up. You don't have to justify anything. You don't have to tell them about discounts and deals and, oh, if you do this, there's a special. Don't do that. Everything you say after saying that price is going to diminish your value. So you get them to formulate the thought. They ask for the price. You say the price and you shut up. There you go. You mean niche recommended industry to target. Oh, okay. Anything that has a lot of repeat clients and that there's a lot of those businesses. So like when I started, I did niche with landscapers. I would not recommend landscapers. They are miserable. They don't pay on time. They're cheap. They're flighty. I would not do landscapers. But like think about businesses that are in every city everywhere. Okay? And think about businesses that are in every city everywhere that people don't think about all the time, right? So like you're driving through town, you see a nail salon, you see a laundromat, okay? People think about that all the time. What's something that people need in every city that they don't think about all the time? Maybe it's a pool contractor, right? Like a pool cleaner. Maybe it's gutter replacements and repair and cleaning. Maybe it's asphalt companies. I worked with an asphalt company for many years. That was a great client. Okay. So that would be how I would pick an industry. Kawa with the follow, thank you so much. You're a wizard. What's your opinion on Zeely AI or similar programs? I don't know Zeely, so I can't really say. Hey Shy with the heart me, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining the club. Luxury perfume stores, but in middle class area. Oof, oof. Perfume is like not as popular as it used to be. I'd have to think about that one, to be honest. That might be a little bit of a more difficult one. I'd maybe do EDDM, every door direct mail, and I would spray the mail, something like that. How to learn marketing automation and what's the best way to serve it as a recurring service. A couple different ways you can slice it. You can slice it by hours. You can slice it by project. You can slice it by have pre-built flows that you can sell. There's a lot of different ways you can cut it. So you can sell it as a subscription. You can sell it as an hourly consulting service. You can sell it like whatever makes the most sense to you, Marco. Just think about that. Like if you can build one automation that lots of businesses can use, for example, let's say you build an automation that works with Go High Level, that takes all of their data and puts it into a newsletter flow that's already pre-built. All I gotta do is sign up and stay registered. How much you gonna charge a month? $20? But now you have a target market. Every person who's on Go High Level. Boom. Something like that. So how would you run ads for a furniture store on a budget? Furniture store? I would get on social media, to be honest. I'd be on social media like a madman. I'd show people sitting on my couches, doing stuff on my couches. I would make them funny as best as I could. I'd tag them locally. Yeah. That's what I would do. What's your favorite marketing books? I don't read marketing books as much anymore. Thinking Fast and Slow is a psychology book. I think is mandatory reading for marketers. Let's see. I'm looking at my bookshelf here. 10x is easier than 2x. That's more of like a business leadership book, but it's really, really good. $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozy. Very actionable. How should I promote my children's book? Affordable one if possible. Social media costs you nothing but time. And it has an infinite reach. Earlier in the live, somebody was criticizing that like my videos get 200 views. First of all, they don't get 200 views. They get more than that. But think about how many people 200 is. Let's just say you get the bare minimum of 200 views for free from TikTok. How many people is 200? Okay. It's a high school basketball game. That's a lot of people. Okay. If you use local tagging, those 200 people are the vast majority are going to be near where you put that pin. So even if you never got more than the free 200, if you had a business that served local audience, why would you not post 2-3 times a day and tag it locally so that you can reach 200 people in your local area? Done. That's bananas, and it's free. But you're not taking advantage of it. Thank you for the tips. Your content and lives are always filled with insights. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you very much. By the way, after this live, I will be posting yesterday's live to my YouTube channel. So if you want to go catch yesterday's live, head over to the YouTube channel. I do want to do something real quick since I have everyone here. Thoughts. TikTok doesn't like you going live twice a day for some reason. Your second live never performs. They don't roll it out to people, whatever. So I've been thinking of doing an afternoon show over on YouTube. If I did an afternoon show on YouTube, would people come to that? Would you watch that? Would that be something that you'd be interested in? Or just like, nah, I'm never on YouTube. I'd love some feedback if that's going to be worth doing. If starting a new business, how much would you set aside for marketing? New business? No one knows you exist. No one can buy you. You need to have a lot put aside for marketing. If I was launching a new business, I wouldn't launch a new business without having at least 50K in my budget for marketing. You got to get the word out. I heard a lot of ads bots click on, like true Meta, not real people. Is this true? I haven't seen as much botting on ad platforms as I used to. They're pretty good at it now. I need a lawyer to manage all of the legal stuff when making a deal with customers. Hate to spend on it. Lawyers are unfortunately a necessary evil. It is just the way that it is. What's your biggest takeaway from thinking fast and slow? My biggest takeaway from thinking fast and slow is if you're in marketing, using people's own perception to push them along the funnel is the key. So if they perceive something about something, let them perceive that. You don't have to correct them. This only is useful information if you are an ethical marketer. Okay? If you're genuinely trying to sell products to people that can benefit from them, it's a great superpower. If you're a scumbag and you don't care and you'll sell something to somebody even though it's going to be terrible for them, don't listen to that. Justin followed the live creator. Thank you so much, Justin. You are a wizard. Any workaround in uploading LALs and Meta in health space? Audiences get blocked constantly. There is a way to do it, but Gilbert, you've got to have a rep. So we have like a rep internally that manually toggles off for us when we do stuff like that. It's one of the advantages of working with an agency. Quinolim with the following, thank you so much, you're a wizard. Thanks. You're very welcome, Anissa. I'm only on TikTok. Yes, YouTube notifications work better than TikTok. Okay. All right. I'd love to watch you on YouTube. You should. All right. Maybe I'll start an afternoon show on YouTube. Danielle, Anissa with the follow, Junkie with the follow. Thank you so much. You're all wizards. Google, Meta, Reddit. Best place to run ads first time. Meta. Look, Meta is the king for a reason. They've got the biggest audience. They've got the most user data. They've got the best audience controls. You can't go wrong with a Meta ad play. Well, you can if your content sucks. SEO tips, please. Sure. Schema markup is king. Topical authority over keyword authority currently in the marketplace. Write like a person. Write like you speak. I know that's counter to what the historical writing methodology is. But AI likes it when you write like you speak because AI writes like it speaks. And it's better for audio search as well. I want to pitch a free audit on a brand's website socials. I don't know what to say in the email. Just do the audit. If the audit's free, just do it and send them the audit. Be like, hey, I saw your site. I really thought it could use some love. I went ahead and did a free audit for you. Here it is. Do with that as you will. Much more interesting. Thoughts on PMAX? PMAX is great if you have a product that you sell it to the same person multiple times. Paper towels, right? If you have a one-time purchase product, I would not be using PMAX. Since you said Meta, Facebook versus Instagram ads, not really a difference. We've tested it. There's not a huge difference between Facebook and Instagram ads in performance-wise. Small body shop in Texas. Will running Google ads get me calls like $10 a day? Meta, Google. Here's the question. Let's say it gets you one call a day. Is that one call a day worth $10? It's something you have to test. There is a magic sweet spot in Google, Meta, in all advertising where the amount that you spend does impact the amount you get back for your spend. Your ROAS goes up. And it's somewhere between the $3,000 and $5,000 a month mark. It's a little different every single time, but there is this like magic tipping point where it's like, I'm getting a 2 ROAS. I'm getting a 2 ROAS. I'm getting a 5 ROAS. YouTube, I'll be there every time I catch you here. It's just because I remember Never get a notification from TikTok. That's so weird. I don't know if you're on this, but there is a bell, like in my profile, there's a little bell at the top. After you follow, you have to turn the notifications on. It's stupid. $5 a day too low, minimum 10. I probably wouldn't run $5 a day. 10. The reason I say 10, and this is my sneakiness. If you run $10 a day, which is $300 a month, which is very low. If you run $10 a day and you get one conversion, one lead, one sale, whatever it is, what tends to happen is you go, oh, I want to spend $20 a day. Oh, I want to spend $30 a day. Oh, I want to spend $50. I'm only doing the $10 a day to kind of trick you into testing it, because as soon as you get a result from it and you look at how much you spent, you're probably going to want to up your budget. It's called psychology. Or if you're a Zootopia fan, it's called a hustle, sweetheart. I'm going to trick you into being better at marketing. Danny with the follow, thank you so much. You're a wizard. How do I leverage an AI overview? You have to write relevant, recent content that's structured simply to output an answer. That's it. There's not much more to it. AI overviews also, just so you know, the lifespan of an AI overview reference is like 3.5 days. AI overviews is constantly turning over who they're referencing. That doesn't mean you won't get it again. It just means that they're refreshing those constantly. SEO agencies selling word positioning, $3K month, USD a month fee to a cemetery company. Is that still a service? So our entire SEO package, which includes backlinks, which includes AI overview optimization, which includes all the technical support, is around $3K a month. That's our baseline. So if you're only getting keyword positioning for $3K a month, that's a bit expensive. Aldiwan with the follow. Thank you so much. You're a wizard. What's the best marketing forum in your opinion? It's probably on Twitter, honestly. There's a really active marketing community on Twitter that's crazy. There you go. Curious, run Instagram ads from app, or do I need to download Meta? You need to get in Meta Ads Manager. It's the only way to do it. Right. A business coach is teaching to boost Instagram posts to get followers so you can DM them. Thoughts on this? There is some validity to this. Boosting posts blows. Okay. Boosting posts is running an ad with zero optimization. If you're going to boost, take that money, go into Google or the Meta Ads Manager and run an actual dang ad. Don't boost. Should I be focusing on customer acquisition cost to ROAS or customer acquisition cost to lifetime value? I own a dog waste removal business, very recurring. Interesting, John. I have another guy in here named the Lawn Dogs. That also is in your same business. I hope you're not competitors. But my personal opinion is evaluate what your LTV is. Evaluate your LTV and figure out what I would focus on LTV. I always think LTV is more important than cost of acquisition because that's the truer number, right? If someone signs up for 2 years and you're going to make on average $900,000, $2,000 off of them, then if you lose on the first month or two, oh well. That's my opinion. I'm about to hire a company that takes commission out of my jobs, but I cover Meta ads. Is that good? That sounds like they're stealing from you on both sides. Can you define your acronyms, please? I try to, Danny, and I realize I said CAC, customer acquisition cost. How much does it cost me to get a customer? ROAS, return on ad spend. How much money did I make for every dollar I spent? Okay. And then LTV is lifetime value. How much is a customer worth on average over the entire lifespan of them being a customer? So think of it this way. McDonald's runs ads. Okay. Maybe it costs them $20 to get someone in McDonald's the first time, but they know that the lifetime value of a customer is $10,000. Okay, we'll lose a little bit on the first part, but we're going to gain it back on the second part. That's why I think LTV is more important than customer acquisition costs. The only exception to that is if your thing is truly a one-time purchase. There you go. Chris with the follow, thank you so much. You're a wizard. You the best. Is it complicated to do email marketing? No, it's not complicated. It's just less effective than it used to be. It used to be much more effective. All right, I caught up in the comments. I've actually got to run to a meeting. I'm late, but I appreciate all of you so much. If you do want to work with me, go over to finch.com, get on the calendar. I'd love to chat with you, or hit me up with a DM right here in the Tickety Talk. Next week, it sounds like maybe we'll start an afternoon show on YouTube. So if you do want to catch me over there, it's the Wizard of Marketing. It's my old logo. I've got to switch it out. I'm sorry, but follow me over there, get the notifications. We'll do the afternoon show similar to this, but hit me up over there. I would love to have you. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. And when it comes to marketing, best of luck, friends. Bye for now.